Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Midnight on the Mountain. Got about 3 to 4 hours for a late afternoon shed hunt before it gets dark. Haven't filmed much coming up because it's straight up and I'm still out of breath, as you can tell. I'll flip this around and kind of let you see what I'm looking at. It's spitting snow every now and then, but just barely. So far it's been nice. I came up the face that's behind that little ridge over there. You can't see it. And looking clear across this valley to the other side, that's where I hiked about a week ago when I came up and hiked in that blizzard. That video hasn't posted yet, but it'll probably post before this one does. So I'm trying out a pair of pants, the Rob Roy's by Nebu. They're outdoor pants. So far, I love how comfortable they are. I mean, I've only hiked in them about a mile and a quarter. They're billed as mid to high altitude pants. Ideal temperature range 35 to 70. Now it's about 40 today and cloudy. And I think if it was much colder, they'd be a little thin for me. So I would say, 35 is probably ideal if it's sunny and not windy. But if it's overcast and windy like today, 35 might be pushing it. You might need a base layer underneath them. But I just love how flexible they are. They are kind of a slender fit, and I got chicken legs, man. I got skinny legs, so for me, that works. When I'm stepping up high, they don't bunch up on me. And when I'm sitting down, they don't pinch. And you guys know what I'm talking about, the men that watch the channel. So far I really like them. We're gonna put them to several hikes and really test their durability. We'll test their water resistance and things like that. But it's the Rob Roy from Nebu. They come in 4 colors. They've got a charcoal gray, kind of a slate gray, a navy, and then these are the orange. But yeah, really am impressed with them so far. So hopefully this video is more than just a pants review. Hopefully we can find some sheds today, but that is definitely one of the reasons we're out here, just to test these out. I don't know if we have a shed or a dead head that's buried. We got one of the two. That's definitely an antler. But with all the leaves around it, I can't tell. I almost think there's a skull attached. Let's see. It'd be a bummer if there is. And I'm pretty sure there is. Yep. Bummer. Well, can't keep the deadheads in Utah unless you call them in. And that little guy's not worth calling in. I don't know how I hike him down anyway. But so I don't consider that a skunk, even though we're not taking him off the mountain. Because in some states you can keep deadheads. But anyway, not in Utah. We're getting pretty close to the top. I'm in this little thicket of oak trees that line this ravine, and circling it back and forth and back and forth. So thank you, Lord, for helping us to find that. Still snow on top. In these pockets that are facing south, it's dry. But anywhere that's flat or anything facing north, you can still see. Thankfully, it's hard packed. I'm not crushing through because I did not bring my snowshoes. I got about, probably just a quarter of a mile, half a mile at the most to skirt the top of this ridge. Then there's a little shelf I want to drop down in, and that's what I came to shed hunt primarily. It just takes a while to get there. Well, you can't beat the view. There's sign everywhere. Lots of elk tracks, lots of elk poop, and they're bull tracks. There's been bulls up here, but no sheds so far, and I'm about at the end. I got to start heading back here pretty soon. I'm gonna have to go down a different way. The canyon I came up, there's guys down there shooting, and I don't see exactly where they're shooting and which direction they're shooting, so I don't want to drop down in on them. So I'm going to loop around one more canyon to the east, it would be. I've still got 2 more passes on this ridge. So I'm gonna work down it, I don't know, a couple 100 yards, and then there's a ravine, and then I'll go up 20 yards or so and then work back, and then we'll start heading back. Hey guys, I'm putting these Rob Roy pants from Nebu to the test again. I've been hiking through a lot of these little bunches of scrub oak quite a bit, and they'll snag you worse than anything. So it'll be a good test to see how durable they are. So far I've been really happy with them. They're super comfortable. It's warmer today, it's 71. So it'll be good to kind of get a feel for how they are to hike when the weather's warmer. The other day when I hiked in them, it was about 40. So far they feel great. They're not too hot, but they're thick enough through all this oak brush that, you know, it's giving me a little protection, a little padding. So we'll keep hiking them, keep testing them out, and tell you what we think. Hey, good morning guys. Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. I'm with my friend Ben, and we're over on the east side of Bear Lake. Not really where I usually go, a little bit different area. We had some mixed communications on where we're going, but it's foggy, it's drizzly, but we're gonna get out and hit the hills today and see if we can find some antlers. So thanks for coming along. Well guys, we're trying out these Rob Roy pants again from Nebu, and we're gonna be able to test how water resistant they are, because it's raining and drizzling and we'll be all day and we're walking in all this high sage. So we'll be able to put them to the test from that standpoint. So far I've loved them. They're super comfortable. You know, I hiked in the snow and they were really quick drying when I was in the snow. So we'll put them through the ringer today. We'll know for sure how waterproof they are, or how water resistant, I guess I should say. Well guys, we're in the middle of a pretty good snowstorm. Fog, haze. We haven't seen anything. We saw a little herd of elk, about 6 cows, and that's about the extent of the wildlife. But we're getting good exercise, good fellowship. My right ear is freezing because that's the direction the wind's coming from. So this is April in Utah. All right, Ben just found our first antler for the day. It's a little crabby, 3 or 4. I can't tell the front from here. Heck yeah, baby. No skunk for us, Ben. Congrats, man. All right, we got Ben taken care of now. Hopefully I can find at least one. All right, there's find number 2, a little chalky deuce. 2 for Ben, 0 for me. All right, there's Ben's best find of the day. No, not really, but he did find a 3rd antler, a little busted off too. So we didn't get skunked. I got skunked, but he didn't. So as long as one of us didn't, that's a good day. Sorry for the wind. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Just got through mowing the lawn in these Rob Roy pants from Nebu. I've hiked in them 3 times, just mowed the lawn in them, and I'm ready to give you my full review on them. And I'm super impressed. I really like them. Now I'm going to go inside, change, and put these closer to the camera where you can see them. Just one quick thing I'll point out before I do that. This side pocket is the perfect fit for my phone. So when I've been hiking, it's been great because I can access it easily. Even with gloves on, I can get my hand in there, but it's deep enough I don't have to worry about it falling out. So when I'm shed hunting, I can check on X, I can look at the map. That's been super helpful. There's another pocket behind it that zips. I usually put my keys in that. And we'll do the rest of this inside because this wind's going to drown me out. I figured this would be a much better backdrop to film my overall thoughts of the Rob Roy pants by Nebu than my kitchen would. So I am absolutely impressed with these pants. They are super comfortable. They are durable. I've taken them on 3 shed hunts now. 2 of those 3 shed hunts were in thick oak, scrub oak, and you know that snags, that tears, and they have held up great. So I'm going to just give you an overview of some of the features. They are 90% nylon, 10% spandex. They do run slim or thin, however you would describe that. I normally wear a 32, 34, and they warned me when I went by to pick them up that I may want to bump up a size. I didn't. I still got a 32. And one of the cool features is this has a little internal belt with it. So if you need to cinch it up a little bit, you can do so right here. It's got a little bit of stretch to it. That's the spandex. Now, I had this on the last loop when I was hiking with it. So then you can just pull this off. Of course, I say that now, I'm having a hard time with it. There you go. Pull it off. You can leave it unbuckled. You know, if you need even a little more wiggle room, a little more stretch. But that's a super nice feature, that internal belt system. The other thing that I really like about it is this side pocket right here. I've been keeping my phone in that. And then behind that, it has a zippered pocket. Now this pocket's deep enough that even with all the side hilling I do, you know, falling down, slipping a couple times, going through the trees, I never had to worry about anything falling out. It has two pockets in the rear. It's got a flap over each one. And then finally, it's got a little tiny pocket here that'd be good for like a pen flashlight. So there's an overall look at the pants. Now, I'm probably the worst person in the world to model pants. I don't know if I said this earlier when I was recording in the wind or not, but I have chicken legs and no butt. I get told that all the time. So they probably didn't look good on me, but they're gonna look good on most people. They fit really well. They clean up really well. So the last shed hunt I went on in the snow and in the rain, it rained all day or snowed all day. I was caked in mud, basically from the bottom of these pants up to my knees. And I didn't treat them or anything. And there's barely a little stain right here. And if I would have treated it, I'm sure they wouldn't be. And I mean, these were brown. They weren't orange. They were caked with mud. So they clean up really well, which is important, in my opinion, for an outdoor pant. You know, that way if you're camping, but you have to go into town for something, you don't look like a total slob when you go into town. As far as their water resistance, when I was hiking at the top of Blacksmith Fork Canyon and I fell through the snow, I couldn't even feel any of the moisture of the snow. So on something small like that, you know, if you get splashed, if you get a little water, a little snow, they do a great job. Now, when I hiked in the rain all day last week, they got soaking wet. They stuck to my legs, you know, they were wet. So they're not a rain pant, but they're not advertised as a rain pant. I will say, in the last hour, hour and a half of that hike, it finally quit snowing and raining. The sun didn't really come out, but at least it was dry. And these dried very quickly. By the time I got back to the truck, they were completely dry. So on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, I would give them like a 9.5. I can't think of anything that I didn't like about the pants. I can't think of any negatives. The only thing you might consider is if you're a bigger guy, again, I'm pretty thin, you're probably going to really size up, particularly, you know, in the thighs and in the calves, where they're going to be super tight. Now, because of that spandex, they're going to stretch with you. They're not going to be uncomfortable. When I'm shed hunting and side hilling a lot, there's a lot of times, you know, I'm stepping up onto a rock, and often if I'm wearing jeans, I just feel restricted. I feel like I can't reach my foot up as high as I need to, maybe, to step up on a rock. These have a ton of stretch to them, a ton of flexibility. They just felt really comfortable to wear. They're advertised as a mid to high altitude pant, and the temperature range that they're designed for is 35 to 70. And I've worn them in 40-degree weather, and it was windy and overcast. And I think that's about as cold as I'd want to wear them without a base layer. I didn't have anything underneath them. And with the wind that day, I think if it would have been much colder, I would have been hoping for a base layer. I did wear them in temperatures almost 70 degrees. We haven't hit 70 in any of the weather I've been in yet this year, but I hiked in them in the mid 60s, and I was not hot at all. The price is $89, so that's very, very comparable for similar pants by reputable companies. They also have a lifetime warranty. If the zipper quits working, if this belt tears, if a button comes off, they'll replace them with their lifetime warranty, which I think gives me a lot of comfort, right? It gives you a lot of assurance that they stand behind their product. Now, obviously, just normal wear and tear. If you put a hole in them 9 years down the road because you've been hiking in them every day, that's not going to be covered. But any manufacturer's defect, again, like a button or a snap or a zipper that quits working on you, they're going to replace those. So I will put a link in the description. Again, these are the Rob Roy pants by Nebu. I think you'll love them. They've got 4 different colors, and these orange pants here. Then they have a navy and then 2 different shades of gray. So I'll put a link in the description for that, and hopefully you guys enjoy them as much as I did. Thanks so much for coming along. I'm going to sign this off. I'm out on my very first turkey hunt. Never turkey hunted before. I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm sure I already have made some mistakes. But hopefully we'll get you some footage from that on another video. I'll do the minute on the mountain back at the house. Thanks for all your support. Let's wrap this up with the minute on the mountain, and it's going to be the last minute on the mountain as far as our tour through the Bible. We started all the way back in Genesis 66 videos ago, and today we're wrapping up in Revelation. I'm going to do a series in the book of Judges next, and then I got a suggestion from Russell over at RWA Fishing to take a look in the book of Nehemiah. So we'll do that after we do Judges. So thanks, Russell, for that feedback. We're going to wrap up, as I mentioned, in Revelation, and I'm not going to read a specific verse. I'll just encourage you to look at Revelation 1:8 and Revelation 2:8. Another example of Jesus proclaiming his deity. So in Revelation 1:8, God the Father is described as the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And then if you read Revelation 2:8, as Jesus is writing his letters to the churches, or dictating the letter that John would write to the churches, Jesus describes himself as the first and the last. So Jesus uses a description that only God should use. Again, Jesus clearly claimed to be both fully God and fully man. So that's the minute on the mountain for today. Guys, thanks so much for all your support. We're at about 1,220 subscribers. When we get to 1,250, that'll be our next giveaway. So if you've followed the channel for a while but haven't subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And when we get to 1,250, we're doing our next giveaway. Hope you guys have a blessed week. We'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain.